Hello everyone and welcome to my channel if you are new, and welcome back to my channel if you are returning. Wow, I don't know why I feel like I haven't done a sit down video in a while. I guess it has been a while because my last video was a vlog and now we are doing a sit down, and today's video is all about how to close out and finish your evaluations. It is almost the end of the school year and I know there's a bunch of things we need to close out, like if you're counseling students, a whole bunch of things. But one thing that I feel like pretty much all school psychs have to do is close out their evaluations. So this is a video on some quick 5 little tips to make that process easy and as smooth as possible. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I want to say is this is important. They're all important, but I feel like this is really important to help you stay organized. And it's to write down and make sure that you have all the dates of when the students are due. So I have a video that I made before where I kind of just show you how I organize everything. And if you do that or something similar, this is gonna help a lot. And I'm gonna link that video. I'll put it at the end of the video, and I'll also try to link it somewhere in here if I can. If not, it's definitely going to be at the very end of the video. But basically, you want to organize that because you want to organize it by the due date. So who is due first, who's due the latest, what month did you have their meeting, when's their 45 day, when's their 65 day, when's their meeting date, because that could be different. But you want to have that because that's where you're going to start. This is where we're starting at baseline, and that organization is going to help you to close out, but also just throughout the year in general to keep track of when are they due. The second thing, building off of that first thing, you want to see who you have consent for and then do those first in the order of whoever is due first. I hope that I'm not confusing anyone. So it's kind of going along with the first point that I made, where you're gonna have all the due dates of all the students, whether they have consent or not. Second thing that you really wanna do is, this is making sure that, okay, these are the dates when they're due, but who do we have consent for? So who can I work on, right? So let's say that student 3 is due very soon, but you don't have consent for them, but you have consent for students 4 and 5. Well, work on 4 and 5 because before you work on 3, because you can't work on 3 because you don't have consent for 3 yet. And also, even with the consent, you want to do it in order of whoever is due first that gave the consent, but you definitely want to make sure that you get the ones done that are going to take a lot longer. For example, I have some students that I'm only giving the rating scales for the teachers, and then I have other students where I'm giving rating scales to the teachers, and then I am also doing an achievement and a IQ, right? So there's only so much I can do with the rating skills, especially if I don't have them. So what I would do is I give out the rating skills as soon as I get consent, and I try to ask the teachers to have them back by a certain day, right? But in the meantime, I will go to the student next under them that's due and work on the achievement and the IQ test, because that's what I'm going to do while I'm waiting for all the rating skills to be done from those students. And then obviously when I get it back, I can continue to work on that student, but it's important to keep little things like that in mind. If you think the kid's going to take a little bit longer, I'm not saying to do them first, but just keep that in mind, oh, there's other things I have to do for the student and it might take longer than another. So just keep that in mind because you have to make your own judgment on that. But still, going along with the steps. The first one, you wanna have all the due dates. Second, you wanna go in the order by the consent. This third thing that I'm gonna say is something that can help you for the people here that have multiple schools like myself, to keep you from going just insane. Please try your best to work on the students that you have to work on for that particular school you're at for those days, if you can. I know sometimes it gets hectic, but if you can, trust me, it helps. For example, I'm at my middle school Mondays and Tuesdays, and then I am at the elementary Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So all the kids that I have at the middle school, I try to work on their reports just Monday and Tuesday. All the kids I have for the elementary school, I try to work on just Wednesday to Friday. And before, I used to kind of mix it up and do some like earlier or later, and to be honest, it would get a little hectic sometimes because I'm like, oh my gosh, this student's due. I'm at the elementary school, but right now I'm working on a middle school kid's paperwork. So when I was able to separate them, it like gives such peace of mind, because in my head I'm like, okay, I closed off whatever has to be done for the middle school for this week, since I have them Monday and Tuesday, and then I'm like, now I can focus on just the elementary school. But a little side note about that is, if you have two schools or multiple schools, and let's just stick with two schools for this example. Let's say that the one school is very calm and you have everything done and you're way ahead. Well, then of course, yes, bring the stuff that you have from your other school to work on while you're there, so that then you can get it done and then you're using your time wisely. I hope that helps. The fourth thing that I want to advise you to do is that once you figured out when the due dates are, and you figured out who you have consent from and who you don't, and you are at your school, I want you to think about splitting the day up so that you are not getting burned out in that day. So let me give you an example, because I've had this happen before, and this is how I organize my day. In one day, I had to see a student, I had to write up reports, and I also had to test 2 students. Now, sometimes, depending where you're at, where your district is, and how busy your schools are, you have more freedom to do what you want when you want. That's not always the case. For me, I was able to kind of have that freedom. I had to pick around a bit, but this is how I ended up scheduling that day. I tested the first kid I had to do in the morning. Like, first thing in the morning, I tested the kid. Then I wrote reports until I just was like, I need a break. I need to step away from this. And then I saw the students that I needed to see, went back to writing the reports. And obviously, if I needed a break in between to like eat lunch or something, then I did that as well. And then at the end of the day, I tested the second kid. So just kind of having that variety throughout the day was so helpful, so that I didn't just feel like I was sitting all day. Or if I would have tested kid after kid really quick and then just wrote reports and then saw the kid, I think it would have been so much of the same thing that I would have got tired faster, and it just would have made the day go by so much slower. But me breaking it up like that really helps for me to make sure that I didn't feel burned out, and I felt like I was doing something different throughout the whole day. So I'm not saying organize your day in that exact order, but that was just an example of how you can kind of break up your day when you have a busy day, so that you're not getting burned out super quick during that day. The fifth tip that I have, man, you guys are gonna say like, this is so cliche, and I know, but it's so true, and it's make sure that you are eating a breakfast and a lunch, drinking your water, and make sure that you are getting sleep. Okay, so I know that's easier said than done. And especially for me, like, take it from someone who was not doing all those things. I always eat breakfast and lunch, but my sleep and my hydration have been so off. And I can tell when it is, because the sleep catches up with you when you don't get enough. You just feel tired. You're not thinking like quick on your feet, and you just feel like, oh, I just want to go to bed. And you're just not motivated to work. And then the hydration, like, that just affects your overall well-being, you know? So you want to stay hydrated. And even with the food's going to give you energy. So to the best of your ability, please, 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 for your sake and everyone else's that you're interacting with, take care of yourself. Like, I want you to take care of yourself. And that's like one of the simple things that can be done. I say simple as if like it is just that easy. It's easy for me to say it. It's not always easy to do it. But it's something that I think goes overlooked. And during just all the time, but especially during crunch time and during important times like this where you are trying to wrap up the year, you need that energy and you need to be your best self. And that will help you tremendously to get so much done and to feel so much better about what you're doing and just how you are and how you work and everything. You'll see, do it and you'll see. And then I want you to report back to me and let me know how it went for you, because I'm telling you, trust me, it will make a huge difference. So that's everything for today, guys. I like doing the sit down videos. I also noticed though that people seem to like the vlogs. So I think I might try to do that again. I'll try my best to do like a vlog, sit down, vlog, sit down. Of course, it's gonna change in the summer months because I'm not in school, so I'm not gonna vlog me just hanging out. I mean, I can, but I don't think that's what you guys want to see. If you guys have any ideas, other things that you want to see, leave that down below. I would love to hear what you guys want to see, and it'll help me. If there's any topics that you want me to touch on, definitely leave that as well. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me this whole time. I hope that you guys have the best day, okay? All right, bye guys.